This is the Andre Agassi we all know. It's still tennis, but today his court is the desert outside his Las Vegas home, and there's no way he can lose.
And action!
Agassi is sweltering in 40-degree heat to shoot this car commercial, but for a multi-million-dollar payday, what's a little sweat?
How's it going?
I guess it's good. You never know. You always feel sort of silly doing this until it's done, and then you go, wow, they made me look better than I thought I was looking.
All right, well, off you go.
Yeah, thanks.
Agassi's been making big commercials, paying big bucks, since he started his professional tennis career 17 years ago. You're a commodity, can I put it to you that way? You're able to sell things.
Yeah, well, I've been called worse than a commodity. So, for me, while I don't necessarily think specifically what I'm going to do after my tennis, I enjoy the concept of nurturing relationships that will take me past tennis.
Are you specific in what you agree to do?
Big time. To me, it's everything.
What wouldn't you do?
Well, I wouldn't do anything that's not authentic. I wouldn't do something that isn't part of my life. I wouldn't try to sell a razor that I don't use every day. As long as it's part of who it is that I am, I absolutely enjoy it.
Toilet paper?
I haven't quite bonded with any particular toilet paper, as long as there's something there.
I only raise it because Leighton Hewitt does. Oh. He sells toilet paper. Mm. It seems all his life, Andre has been the star of the show. As a 6-year-old, he'd already caught the eye of tennis commentators.
Andre, how do you like tennis?
Fine.
Do you want to be a tennis player when you get big?
Yes.
How long have you been playing tennis?
I don't know.
Do you have any regrets about being introduced to tennis so young in your life?
No. I think I went through times where I did, throughout my sort of tennis life. But I think when you weigh it all out, we all have our cross to bear, and finding myself sort of complaining or regretting it takes away from my energy and my time.
I saw where you said that when you see a photograph of yourself something like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you wouldn't mind burning it. Is that true?
Yeah, that's accurate. That's very accurate.
What is it that you didn't like or don't like?
I guess we should probably start with the hair, right? Yeah, I don't know.
There was a lot of hair, I'll grant you that.
Well, I don't know. I think I had a little art of diversion working, but I think you change so much in 10 years. And for me, I just look back and I see somebody who was striving to figure a few things out, and I'd rather live in the present.
I mean, was it true you used to start the day with a Coca-Cola? Was that
if the
unfair?
If the day called for it, I wouldn't hesitate. I like to say that I've achieved a lot in spite of myself at times.
Truth is, we don't know half of what this softly spoken 33-year-old has achieved. So this is it?
This is it. Our goal to utilize space and put all the stuff in there necessary to change these children's lives.
This is the Andre Agassi Preparatory Academy, a Las Vegas school Andre funded to educate underprivileged kids. It's a $70 million venture, a venture he's extremely proud of. This is all important stuff.
Well, there's no question. You're getting out of my league if you start talking about, all these children here know more about this than I do, which is it speaks a lot about me too, doesn't it?
No, you're handy with the tennis racket. It's all right. You don't need the computer. Where did it come from, your desire to do this?
You got to tell me how you don't care about children, right? So, for me, children was a no-brainer. The question was, how do you help a child? We clothe over 3,000 children a year. We're involved heavily with the Boys and Girls Club, with Assistance League, with Child Haven, a shelter for abused, abandoned kids. So we've spent years changing lives in different ways and have quickly realized that education is the best way to change a child's life.
Okay, we need to read the next paragraph, please. So turn your page.
Today, these grade 3 students are meeting Andre for the first time.
How many of you know why this is called the Preparatory Academy? Right there.
Because we're preparing for college.
All right. Well, you guys keep dreaming, because that's what you're supposed to do here. And you're supposed to keep working, too, so good luck to you.
Thank you, Mr.
You guys have fun.
And I like your school.
Is any of what you do today for those children driven by your own experiences? Because you didn't always have money, for example. You had a loving family, but you didn't always have, the great pleasures of life that you have now.
Well, I certainly didn't have the pleasures of life. My father worked really hard to create a life for us where us children had what we needed. I'm not sure you need to experience poverty or having no opportunities or no even hope in your life to identify with what that's like. I think you just need to stop to think about it.
I'm trying to be the first African American to win the French Open.
Andre is also nurturing young tennis players, kids who can't afford a racket, let alone world-class coaching.
I'm going to put you 3 on the baseline, and I'm going to feed balls to you, move you around the court.
For the past 18 months, Australian Darren Cahill has been coaching Andre Agassi. In his spare time, he helps these Andre wannabes.
Go, go! Good running. They travel, they go all around America playing junior tournaments. Andre puts up the bill for everything, and these kids have a real opportunity to be professional tennis players.
Before joining Camp Agassi, Cahill was the coach who guided Leighton Hewitt to the world #1 ranking. So why did you leave Leighton?
Well, it's a long time together, 3 years on the road, and there were some bumps along the way. And there were most of those we certainly got over, and there were some that we just couldn't. And you don't walk away from that type of job without some problems, both from my side and from his side. There's no question about that. But certainly not about to get into them, but to say that we ended up friends. It was a mutual parting, and it was certainly something that needed to be done.
Is there a conflict of interest at all in your heart when you went from being the coach of an Australian #1 to the coach of an American #1?
No. I think that everybody in their right mind would look at the possibility of coaching Andre Agassi and think, wow, what an opportunity. Even my wife said when I got the phone call, she said, what are you going to teach him?
Oh. Get off me! I hate it when you get like this.
Watching them train, it's clear Cahill and Agassi are a formidable team.
And again.
He says he's half Aussie. Which part?
Well, he can tell you the names of the Wiggles. He's got a few Australian sayings down pat. When he busts out mate, that's when he's not really Aussie.
Yeah,
he's very American.
That's when it's...
And when I miss a volley, I'm not very Aussie either, which happens quite often.
No, well, I have to say that you're a great favourite with Australians. So, I mean, it stands to reason we would take you on.
Well, listen, Darren came along at a time when my career could have gone a couple different directions, and he gave me an option to still be out here because he taught me I can still be better than I've ever been, and to win a slam at 32 and to be #1 at 33 is just a credit to his direction.
You better run.
The Cahills have made Vegas their new home. Darren, his wife Victoria and son Benjamin have formed a strong bond with Andre and his family, both on and off the court.
Which one's your favorite? I want to see your favorite. Show me.
Here.
This one?
Here.
Here?
Here.
Who's that?
This.
That's a cool one.
When we visited Andre last week, his wife Steffi Graf was giving birth to their second child, a daughter, Jazz. Is your life more balanced and is it at its best right now? I mean, you're a husband, you're a dad, you're a top tennis player.
I'm very much at peace with where things lie in my life.
And does it make a huge difference to have as a partner somebody who's been there and with you even, as in Steffi?
Well, listen, I think a marriage or a relationship with your spouse is not dependent on them understanding those sort of intimacies, but if they do, if you can share that, it is an incredible luxury. And it's not a luxury because of all the things me and Steph do talk about. In so many cases, it's a luxury in all the things that don't need to be said. And
Does she ever give you some criticism or some helpful advice?
Only when I'm begging for it, which is probably more often than I care to admit.
But she still obviously enjoys you playing tennis.
I don't know if I could state it that way. I think she loves me a lot, which means if it's still important to me, it's important to her. But I don't think she bargained for more traveling in her life and more tennis.
Did you ever, in your wildest dreams, think that you would be with this woman who was on the tennis court with you all those years?
Well, actually, in my wildest dreams, I did.
Is that right?
But those were the real wild dreams. So, how are you going to stop that?
I know that my next job is going to be a step down.
This is the pinnacle?
This is as good as it gets. I can't imagine to take on a better job. What he's given to the game at a professional level is not going to be replaced very soon.
There's no new Andre Agassi that you can see coming through.
There's no one that puts backsides on seats like Andre.
There's no way in the world that you can contemplate life without tennis, I guess.
I don't even have a memory without tennis in my life. So it will be it'll be a culture shock. It's going to be a whole different sort of life that I have no idea what to anticipate. But I'm not there yet.
You're so Aussie!
Hello, I'm Liz Hayes. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9 Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.